This is Let's Play Diablo, one of the most famous action RPGs out there. It's a game where you explore the 16 levels of a labyrinth hidden below a small town in Colorado. So, basically when you start the game, you pick a class. And that's just one of the characters you can choose to play as. There's the warrior, the rogue, the sorcerer. They're all pretty basic archetypes, you know. The warrior's like swords, axes, close range stuff. The rogue, you see like bows. They're good at dealing with like traps. They're supposed to be like really nimble and stuff. The sorcerer is just about using magic, and he's fragile. So the warrior's best at surviving solo, and so I'm going to pick him. And I'm going to name him Tim, because that's a good name. So we start here in the town of Tristram. And basically we go to town every once in a while when we drop off our stuff to sell it, and we can buy some new stuff from the blacksmith, get some information on our items from Cain the Elder, or just talk to this tavern owner to get our bearings.
Thank goodness you returned. Much has changed since you lived here, my friend. All was peaceful until the Dark Riders came and destroyed our village. Many were cut down where they stood, and those who took up arms were slain or dragged away to become slaves, or worse. The church at the edge of town has been desecrated and is being used for dark rituals. The screams that echo in the night are inhuman, but some of our townsfolk may yet survive. Follow the path that lies between my tavern and the blacksmith's shop to find the church and save who you can. Perhaps I can tell you more if we speak again. Good luck.
So yeah, there's a couple more characters in the town, and obviously we haven't done a lot of talking. I'm hoping to just sort of do a little bit of talking every time we come back to town, so the pacing's a little better as far as, just endless blathering on or whatever. One of the things about this game is that the dungeons are generated every time you play.
The sanctity of this place has been fouled.
And so there's basically a pool of quests that you have a chance of getting or not getting, and a layout for what rooms can be and stuff. And basically, this is a major clicking game. You fucking walk around, you click on the chest to open them, you click on the guys to make them die, and you click on the gold to pick up the gold. And this, and oh, that's a trap. For sure. So anyway, these randomly generated levels are a huge part of why the game has so much replay value. Because it's like the items in the levels and stuff, you just never know what you're going to run into. Which is what's so cool about the game. So we haven't really found anything that exciting yet, just a bunch of sort of generic weapons that aren't that special. Oh, here's something. Just a little bit of armor. And our first level up. So the idea is that you can, choose the development of your character to a certain degree by selecting which stats go up when you level up. So as a warrior, I like to bring magic up a little bit because it's actually pretty important to have some magic. Otherwise, you definitely get screwed later in the game. This here's a shrine which has one of very many cryptic effects. It can It can change the contents of your inventory. It can give you spells. It can change your stats. And the names are always really cryptic, and the text is always really cryptic. So you kind of have to do some guesswork to figure out what's going on. But I think that one identifies magic items that you're carrying. We haven't actually, I don't think we've come across any yet, but the idea is that you find items with blue text all the time, and basically they've got magical properties that you can learn about and take advantage of if you use the identify scrolls or you present them to Cain the Elder. This icon means that our armor is in disrepair, so I'm just gonna take advantage of our item repair skill to do a quick and dirty repair job on it that'll decrease its maximum durability. If we really wanted to, we could go back to town and have the blacksmith do it, and it wouldn't decrease the maximum durability, but it's not really worth the bother at this point. Anyway, I'm hoping we'll find, some magic items soon, because that's definitely a huge part of what's interesting about the game is just, figuring out that you've got like the sword of plus this to that and all that shit. Although one of the things that I really appreciate about this game is that it does a pretty good job of kind of insulating you from the numbers when you're actually fighting. It can just be a little bit much, I don't know, like a little bit screaming of like you're playing an RPG right now, to sort of tell you that you just did that much damage and the guy has this much HP. You've just got this orb and it's like, shit, that looks like a lot, or shit, that looks like I don't have very much health left. But use a potion, you kind of have to like use your gut a lot more than I think with a lot of RPGs. Oh, here's a blue cape. That's exciting. Definitely gonna identify that later. And here's the entrance to level 2. The thing about this game is that the map generation makes it so entrances to the next level will appear pretty much anywhere. And if you really wanted to, you could just go through as soon as you see those entrances. But it's not really a good idea, because if you're not ready, the enemies in the lower levels will destroy you. Right here is the Staff of Holy Bolt, and I'm going to drop my rags so I can hold it. Basically, the idea of a staff with a spell is it has a certain number of casts of a certain spell attached to it, so when you equip it, you can cast that spell that number of times. Right now we don't have enough magic power to use it, but since it's a Staff of Holy Bolt, I know that to be a useful spell, so I think I will be keeping it most definitely. Book
Too
of
much
Healing.
baggage.
That's a handy little thing to have. It looks like I don't quite meet the requirements, but I will soon, and it's definitely a handy spell. A Book of Holy Bolt. I don't meet the requirements for that either, but you pretty much generally want to learn spells when you have the opportunity. It's just a worldly knowledge thing. And also that they're mostly genuinely useful. This is a short bow right here, which is, a different weapon type than we've used so far, obviously. So I intend to show all that stuff off pretty soon, but now's not really the best opportunity. A Scroll of Identify. So I think we gotta try identifying this cape we found, see what it does. Cape of Magic, plus 2 to magic. I think combining that with our magic buff that we already got, it'll make us able to read the Book of Healing, so that's a handy thing to be able to do. It's pretty common, especially like you know, if you are a frail class like the sorcerer and you want to wear armor that requires a lot of strength to wear, then you'll have to find some strength buffing items like helmets or swords or rings or whatever. Oh, another Book of Holy Bolt. I guess this game really wants me learning that spell. The idea of Holy Bolt, which we'll see before too long once I get some more levels in Magic, is that it's just like a missile that will only do damage to undead enemies like zombies and skeletons. And so it's actually very useful for an upcoming quest that I think we will be getting. Scroll of Inferno and a blue
Too much baggage.
This is definitely a handy one. It already does like significantly more damage than our current weapon, so I'm just going to switch to it, find out what it does later. And another level. So I'm going to give us the next bit of magic. So I definitely want to read these books. And I mean, it might as well round it off in case I stop using the cape. So I'll just read these.
I can't use this yet.
Every time you read a book, basically, you can increase the spell by reading another book of the same type, but the requirements increase. So here's our Holy Bolt, and let's try and find some undead enemies to show it off against. If there are any left, hopefully there are. But, you know, just cast it. And, you know, if you need to, you can use it to attack. It's just not quite as fast or as powerful as the sword. Let's see. Oh, there's a door over here. So, that's handy. I mean, you can dispatch things at a range, and you can fire pretty rapidly. Some of these guys you really don't want to get too close to you. And some guys will just be like, they'll be like archers or something, and they'll be always fucking running away from you and like ruining your day. It's very useful to have some ranged spells available. And it also seems somewhat more likely to hit. Oh, maybe I proved myself wrong. But you know, you can spam it into crowds if you encounter those or anything like that. Near you.
Too much baggage.
Clearly not that much more likely to hit, I guess. Here's a hat, which is great. It's kind of a shitty hat, but you know, any hat is better than no hat. And you see how it says immune magic. When you kill enemies, you are told more things about their immunities the more that you kill. So the idea is like, it says they're immune to magic, which is just a total misnomer. It's just a really weird thing that they're saying about it, pretty much. Magic refers to only a small subset of the spells that you can use in the game. It doesn't refer to Holy Bolt, and it doesn't refer to any fire or lightning spells. It's just a really weird thing that they would do that, you know? And here's 2 books of Charged Bolt. It's not the most useful spell in the world, but man, we are sure getting a lot of books. I found another Scroll of Identify, so I definitely want to identify this falchion. Sword of Magic. Wow. We are basically going to be like a warrior mage, I guess. So we'll read the second Holy Bolt, we'll read the Charged Bolt, and I'll take my Charged Bolt spell out, and we can try that out. I don't know if there's really any more enemies in the level, so I can just show you really briefly what the effect of it is. It just sends these little guys out that kind of crawl around the floor. In multiplayer, it's really great for owning your friends because it'll run into them and damage them all the time. But yeah, I mean, it's great for crowd clearing if you want to just spam it, but otherwise it's a little bit unpredictable. So generally I'd go for something, you know, more like a Firebolt or something like that, or Holy Bolt, obviously. So yeah, definitely going back to town to sell my stuff. That's what you do when you have too much in your inventory.
What can I do for you?
crappy, not very good stuff. But I'll just get out of here. And this Book of Charge Bowl, basically town is our dumping ground for stuff that we want to use later, so I'm just going to leave this. No one's going to take it, right?
Greetings, good master. Welcome to the Tavern of the Rising Sun. Jillian, my barmaid? If it were not for her sense of duty to her grandam, she would have fled from here long ago. Goodness knows I begged her to leave, telling her that I would watch after the old woman, but she is too sweet and caring to have done so.
Good day. How may I serve you? Farnham is a drunkard who fills his belly with ale and everyone else's ears with nonsense. I know that both Pepin and Ogden feel sympathy for him, but I get so frustrated watching him slip farther and farther into a befuddled stupor every night.
Okay, I don't want to waste time talking to too many people, but actually Farnham is like one of these fucking gems. Definitely have to have a few good conversations with him.
Can't a fellow drink in peace? I want to tell you something, because I know all about this stuff. It's my specialty. This here is the best. The best. That other ale ain't no good since those stupid dogs.
Okay, very touching. He's got his issues in his past that I think we will learn about eventually. And Kane really can't do anything for us right now, so we can talk to him later. I don't care. So here we are at the entrance to level 2. And yeah, this is what we'll be tackling in the next video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.